Alright, what's going on, guys? Dr. Stephen James here to bring you another video. Today is my weekly review of this week's episode for The Walking Dead. It is called Trust. And of course, spoiler warning if you have not seen the episode. Watch it or don't. I mean, of course, if you mind spoilers, I recommend you do. By the way, I'm going to be filming this review on the floor because I just don't really feel like sitting in a chair right now. Floor is actually much comfier ever since the backrest broke. Watching TV while watching this review, I have it muted so that I can do this review, but yeah, I just wanted to get it over with. So this was a pretty simple episode. So Lance figured out that Daryl and Maggie were involved in the fiascos that took place in the previous few episodes, and now Lance suspects that they are hiding some of the citizens there of the apartment complex. They have spent the entire episode just scavenging and looking for him, and spent hours later coming up with nothing until they are forced to leave. Where they are forced to leave when Lance interrogates Herschel's son, which last I heard in the pre-apocalypse world was illegal. Wait, is it illegal or is it just uncalled for to question a minor without the presence of a guardian or adult? But I mean, yeah, in a dystopian world, I guess there are no laws, but if they're trying to bring back the old world, they gotta have some of the old rules too. So yeah, so Maggie and Daryl spot it. They have an altercation. Daryl drops the F-bomb for the first time, and it actually took me a couple seconds longer to click because at the time I've been watching a lot of streaming service shows, like specifically on Netflix and Disney Plus, and since those streaming services are not bound by the same rules as public television, they can they can drop F-bombs as much as they like, provided that the TV rating, is TVMA or TV14. So I mean that yeah, it took me a couple seconds for it to click, but I was like, oh shit. They let Daryl drop the F-bomb. He must be honored. Norman must be honored to have his character swear for the first time. Cause, I mean, so far, all we have to drop the F-bomb, Rick did it a couple times. Madison did it in the season 3 finale of Fear the Walking Dead, and now Daryl got the honor. Honestly, sometimes I think the show would have been better off if it was on a streaming service, because honestly, Negan had such a potty mouth. I mean, he was the type of character in the comics to drop an F-bomb every, like at least once in every single sentence. Stay true to his character. You would think that they've given Negan the F-bomb by now, but maybe someday. I kind of hope Isle of the Dead is going to be on a streaming service. I mean, even if it's one I don't currently have, maybe I could like use the free trial to like watch it on Paramount Plus or whatever the hell it's gonna be on. But Yeah, honestly, that was really the only thing that stood out to me in the episode. I mean, I I don't I'm not ready to give the rating right away. I already know exactly what my rating for it is going to be, but there is a little more to the episode than what's been going on with Maggie and Daryl. So also we have Mercer and Princess. Yeah, honestly, I guess for the integrity of the review, I guess I would have to give my 2 cents on what I think of them as a couple. They don't really stand out to me, but yeah, I can see them being together in the apocalypse, honestly. So yeah, and that's not the only relationship. Eugene and Max finally had their first real kiss. Actually, I think Eugene did. Yeah, they kissed in the episode Rogue Element. Eugene and who everyone was led to believe was Stephanie, but we have since learned that it wasn't really her, so that doesn't count. But yeah, I mean, I guess that was nice. I mean, it didn't really stand out to me either. If I mean, if you liked it, if you thought it did stand out, that's fine. But yeah, I just didn't really care at that point. But so yeah, speaking of Eugene and Max, Max has finally been let into the know of what's been going on with Pamela and her son Sebastian. How Sebastian has been sending in soldiers and people with nothing to lose, people desperate for money, into a house completely surrounded by walkers, and at least 40 of them didn't make it. She was let into that. She confronted her brother, Mercer, who we, by the way, learn that his name is actually Mike or Michael for long. Um, that is something we didn't get in the comics. We never learned Mercer's real name. I honestly always thought his real name was Mercer, to be honest. Even though I had my doubts, I just didn't really care enough to think about it too much. But yep, Mike Mercer, same person. They are so after being let in, Mercer was just uh, trying to protect his little sister. So that's that there. Oh, and Connie and Kelly were also part of the conversation between that. Just signing away. You know. So I mean, not really much to say about that. Not really much more. I mean, they were just part of the conversation, but I mean, they weren't really involved with it in any big way. It was just something I thought I'd point out. Speaking of Connie and Kelly, some of you might have already noticed, and I can't believe it took me this long to mention it, but the list of people that was slid underneath slid through Connie's and Kelly's front door. Um, back in episode 10, I'm pretty sure it was. It turns out was the list and names of people that Sebastian has sent into that house, as we have learned. Who slid it through the door? I think it was actually said in this episode, but I can't remember who. No way. Maybe it wasn't mentioned in the episode. Now to the other stuff with Carol and Sebastian. I mean, Carol and Ezekiel. How dare I confuse such a beloved character with that little prick? So yeah, Carol took Judith and RJ to their first day of school. I'm surprised we didn't get to see any scenes from their first day of school. I mean, not that I would have wanted to see anything like that. I'm just, a little surprised. They didn't, we didn't hear anything about what their first day of school was. I mean, they just got dropped off from school and we never see them again in this episode. Tomi, I think is how you pronounce it. Yumiko's brother. Ezekiel and Tomi are, going through what life has been like in the hospital lately. Tomi lost a patient, and we find out that he's been using the stables to treat patients. Why are they being held in the stables? Was it even said? I don't remember. So, yeah, and Ezekiel gets to help out with an urgent care surgery. By the way, I don't know if you caught Talking Dead, but it was mentioned that the person who was being operated on was actually a citizen of the kingdom. He was she was actually in the community fair. The actor who plays Ezekiel, Kari Payton, I think it was him that made the decision, but anyway, he felt like the surgery should be personal for his character, so they got a background character from the the kingdom. Honestly, I'm surprised there are any citizens of the kingdom left. I mean, they're really all background characters anyway, apart from obviously Carol and Jerry and again Ezekiel. By the way, so after basically being kicked out of Hilltop, Lance figures out that it is Leah who has stolen their weapons, but does he retaliate? No. Because, no. Instead, he decides to hire her. Yeah, just imagine how he'll feel when he learns that, that Leah is Daryl's crazy ex-girlfriend. That's gonna make for awkward staff meetings. Although, maybe Lance just... I mean, it's true, Lance is a weasel who is at gunpoint, so he probably just wanted to survive in a matter that he knew best, which was to make deals with people. So, I mean, honestly, maybe, I mean, we'll have to see what's in the next episode, but I mean, that's where the episode ends. Lance hires Leah. She takes out she wounds one of them and kills the other, but I mean, that's that's about it. Like I said, a pretty uneventful episode. I would give it a 6.6 out of 10, which by Walking Dead standards is not a bad score. Still, out of these 8 episodes that have been airing and over the course of the last 2 months, this one is probably my second least favorite. Outranking only Rogue Element, the episode I mentioned prior. For some reason, I seem to recall giving that one a higher ranking for some reason. I'd have to rewatch that video in order to determine that, but yeah. Trust, second least favorite episode of this part of The Walking Dead. Obviously, there are a total of 3 parts. We're going to be concluding concluding part 2 of 3 next week, and then it'll probably return with its final part, its final 8 episodes in October. So, yeah, that's my review. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. By the way, if I'm being honest, I don't enjoy these sit-down episodes. So, yeah, just one more episode, and we will be back to doing Randonautica videos. Can't wait. Man. So, as always, like and subscribe. And it's Dr. Stephen James saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.